Send me the link too.
Okay. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of not Pepsi Central Love Vote, but the Pyrohork Empire Strikes Back. And there hasn't been a podcast since February, and for two reasons. One, let's go start with the smaller reason. A bunch of hectic life shit, and then the second reason, because the world has changed since then.
Yeah, COVID, bro.
We live in the Great Depression 2.0.
We live in a society.
We live in a society, and since then, I've been I actually haven't been really working on many projects, but yeah, I've been making very gamer type posts. That's all I've been doing the whole time, and getting shit on for it. But
yeah, I've been working on shit posts.
I guess you could have a pretty cool AFK fish farm in Minecraft.
Very ambitious.
Gotta get ready. The new update.
Yeah, I need to get on the Minecraft wave myself.
I swear to God, I'll add you to the FPN now.
That would be appreciated.
What would you guys like? So later in this podcast, we're gonna talk about a movie, but what would you guys like to talk about? We never introduced who you guys are. What's your name? Komato, Komatos, and Blxcklist.
I'm Lucas Werner and Timmy Thick on the podcast right now.
You would, if Lucas Werner heard this, he would try suing you.
Mm-hmm. Come at me. I'm legally changing. Lucas Werner, I challenge you to a duel. Whatever library you're living outside of right now and draining, you're siphoning their Wi-Fi to listen to this podcast. I challenge you to a sword battle to the death. Whoever comes out on top will no longer be homeless.
Wait, is this a fact that I'm not shitting on Lucas Warren for this because I've done this in the past? But is this true that he goes to the library a lot to use Wi-Fi? Because if that's true, then if the library Wi-Fi thing's true, then he just seemed like somebody you'd see in the library, in the corner using the Wi-Fi, looking around the room.
I am also that guy in the corner of the library getting Wi-Fi, but the library's closed because of coronavirus, so
yeah.
I don't like kicking a man while he's down, but we all know that the Warren is homeless right now. Because, look, at least people who go after, like, cougars and shit, they got, like, sugar mama fetishes and shit, like, at least they can sustain themselves. 16-year-olds aren't gonna send you money, Warren. 16-year-olds don't have income.
Did you remember that video Chris Hansen
made? Wait, hold on. That's not true. Have you seen Audrey?
I thought you were gonna out yourself for a second there.
No. I take money from 21-year-old men.
Jake's looking at me very suspiciously right now. Is this why DJ hasn't paid rent? Because you've been taking all of his hard-earned cash?
No, I'm sorry. I gotta bring in SoundCloud rappers to pay for my girlfriend's screen and Snapchats.
You're tearing this house apart. You know that, Lee?
It's all love. I'll give it back. I'm not intoning lyrics and change.
That's what they all say.
Remember that Chris Hansen video that he made?
Oh yeah, Lucas Werner.
Which means that we have Which means we both have 1 degrees of separation with Chris Hansen.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. We also have 1 degree of separation from Tosh.0.
Which means, you know what? That it's very possible that Chris Hansen, or at least the team, has heard the podcast. One of his team members, for a fact, has listened to the podcast for like some investigation stuff, but just never told us or anything.
I feel like that's plausible based on like the fact that Chris Hansen's trying to develop an online fan base right now.
Yeah. Should we invite Chris Hansen on the We should invite Chris Hansen on the podcast.
You know who you should get? Wait, Lee, what did you say you cut out?
I forgot.
This is a really good episode.
It's true.
I was gonna say you should get you should try and get Squeezy Jibs as your next internet celebrity.
Forgot about him. Oh.
King Cobra as well, yeah. King Cobra.
I still, you know what, my Elon Musk podcast, if I ever did it, would be Space Goes Perp.
Yo, honestly, we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
That needs to happen.
It could happen. It's likely. It could.
I feel like you can make that happen. Sorry, I'm smoking weed right now.
Dude, weed, dude?
Weed.
I burnt the fuck out of my hand because I heated up my dab rig, and as soon as I got done heating it up, I grabbed my banger with my hand, just my whole hand.
Lee,
grab.
You're supposed to learn how to do that when you're in fucking high school, bro.
I don't have an excuse.
Mm-hmm. You trying to incapacitate both hands, bro?
Okay, so I didn't know what to do after that, right? So I had a 12-pack of Mountain Dew Code Red in my fridge, so I just kept like switching out cold cans to hold
naturally
until I fell asleep.
That's the home remedy right there, bro.
If you're gonna gather anything from this podcast, it's that Blxcklist is a retard.
Is this a live one?
No.
Is there a live link I can share?
No. It's all recorded.
No, this is recorded.
So it's not live?
No.
No.
Okay. Good. I can shout slurs now.
Yeah. We can talk about saying things that we probably wouldn't say live.
We can talk
Can
about.
I say that word?
Yeah. That's a good topic. We ought to talk about the FBN live show.
Yes. Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about how everybody got overwhelmed because they were on too much acid. Because I gave everybody too much acid.
Yeah, you gave me like 3 hits, bro.
and they were like really, really strong tabs.
Yeah. No, that's why I freaked out. I had like visions of being in hell. The outside, I was sitting outside because I got panicked. And then I look up, and the skyline's all red, and there's like this house that I was looking at. I don't know, it just freaked me out. But
was it the blood orange house that was right behind us?
Yeah. You know the one I'm talking about. It's it fucked me up.
So when you're tripping, it looked like outside. It looked like a SoundCloud album cover.
Davon, say hi to the podcast.
Who?
Young Devon.
Hi, Devon.
Oh, he's not talking. He's got poop face.
Hi,
shit.
Devon. Hi.
Hey, Davon. Hey, Davon.
I gotta say it how like my mom says hi to people.
His poop face has turned into a smile. Say something, Davon. Say something to the podcast. No. There we go. One word.
Tell Davon if he fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Okay. Are you okay, Lee? You've had like 3 strokes on this cast already.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts
I think
on? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on cause you know I've been kind of in a, I guess I would call it Kanye state of mind. I've been feeling like a Kanye lately.
Very bipolar.
Yeah, and conspiracy and stuff. What do you guys think about that? Remember back in like February, there's all these people getting exposed for being pedos and stuff, and then the quarantine thing happened right after the Hollywood pedos getting exposed and stuff.
Oh yeah. There was footage of Oprah getting raided.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And then like 2 days later, they announced the quarantine thing.
Yeah,
I'm just
Oprah
saying,
was like,
dog.
No, I didn't get raided, guys. I was just cleaning up. I was sanitizing my house. Yeah. Cute house in 2 months.
In the Corey Feldman documentary. And Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg, there was like a bunch of things about them floating around.
Fucking 17 terabytes of CD I have one in my hair.
Oh yeah, I heard the Tom Hanks allegations, and then I saw that Tom Hanks got coronavirus.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. What the fuck?
Yeah, apparently they're using like Tom Hanks, because apparently Tom Hanks got it and then he beat it, so now they're trying to use his antibodies that already fought the vaccine to create, or the virus to create a vaccine.
Yeah, I saw a pretty funny tweet that was like, imagine you get the Tom Hanks tested vaccine and you become a pedophile. Man, what's the census? Who thinks Tom Hanks is a pedophile?
You know, I don't know. I don't get pedo vibes from him. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't really get the vibes.
I think if so, it's because of the Mr. Rogers movie.
Saying
That would
Mr.
make
Rogers
him more
was
of
a
a
pedo.
pedophile. Okay, so
like
census.
he was.
DJ, do you think Tom Hanks is a pedophile? He says yes. Okay, cool. Davon definitely thinks Tom Hanks is a pedophile. He's the one who brought it to my attention. I'm pretty sure he's a pedophile.
Do you think Steven Spielberg is? I kind of think he is.
Think who is?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was the one brought up along with Tom Hanks about being the one.
I don't even know what Steven Spielberg looks or sounds like, so I can't make any
I won't be surprised if he was. There's been jokes and rumors about him being a pedophile for like fucking like 30 years. Steven Spielberg. Because a lot of his movies, there's a lot of suspicious stuff. Like, there's been actors and stuff like that were pedos that worked on his movies, or like stuff about kids getting raped or murdered and stuff, like in real life, that acted in his movies and stuff. There's a lot of stuff like that. But,
dude, that's fucking nuts.
yeah, like in the 80s alone, because that's like Steven Spielberg's height of like, you know, popularity in his movies. Almost all the kids either got injured on set, they died somehow in real life, or there's molestation stories and stuff, or rumors. I don't know. It's a little odd.
Yeah, it's a bit wacky, a little strange.
A bit queer.
Kind of wacky.
Oh, how queer.
Yeah, how How strange. Missed you, bro. Well, when are you dropping another album? Is that you posted something?
Okay, I was working on something already, and the past few days I've been debating. I had this idea for an album, a different album, and I was like, I was okay. So the original album, I didn't really actually like make much beats. I wrote a lot of like lyrics and stuff, but it was completely different than what this one's gonna be. So, past few days I thought about I had ideas for a different album, and it was gonna be like it was. I thought I've had an idea for a while to make a sequel to that Caligula project, like something that sounded like that, and I was like, so the past few days I was debating like, should I just do that one first, and I just because I've been like in a very bitter mood and stuff, and people I've been very outspoken lately and stuff, and people getting like mad at me online. I've been losing friends and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make an album that's surrounded by this subject, and I was like, this will be the perfect sequel to that Caligula project I did a couple years ago, and so that's kind of how I came about it. But yeah.
Throwback to that. What?
Yeah.
Jake, what are you doing? Okay.
I can't believe y'all actually have album ideas. I haven't ever had one for my Blxcklist project.
First off, you need to drop one.
Which one?
I have an EP coming
Blxcklist?
soon, like very soon.
Lee, all you have is that one project with Shermstick, which is good, but it's not like a solo
and
project.
I removed it. The thing too about me, I removed all my old music.
I feel that.
My solo, I have a solo EP, so it's the EP is gonna be King, an unreleased song that I played at the show called Mobile Suit Gundam. Shout out Bazooka Joe.
Yo.
And then I'm thinking either mine and Drumson's song for Swamp Sect Corona is gonna be the third track, or another song track. Not sure yet, but once I get 200 followers,
Not a single opening been sent my way.
Okay, so I actually do have my open for you, right? I just need to record it, and I got bombarded with like paid features that I have to do that I lost my lyrics to a couple times and had to rewrite to. So once I get done with that, I'll record them.
I just miss you, bro. That's all.
I miss you so much.
So
I miss you.
to like just describe that my album, it's gonna be, the genre will be like experimental, angry, conspiracy theorist, bisexual, white boy rap.
yeah. Brockhampton meets Alex Jones.
It'd be more like it'll be like, okay, it'll sound like it'll be very similar to JPEG Mafia, but it'll be like the lyrics will be like the complete polar opposite of JPEG Mafia.
Okay.
Like
so
the polar opposite. All his beliefs.
It's not anti-white. It's anti-black. I got
No, it's anti. We can say it's anti a lot of things, but
okay.
it's I actually have a lot of ideas. So it'll be conspiracy theory territory. It'll be anti-left, even anti-right stuff. There'll be anti like music critic culture or whatever, and there will be some stuff about anti-hype beast culture. There'll be a lot of that stuff. It'll be it's my Yeezus essentially.
I like that.
The only culture I'm a part of is anti-white women culture.
Yeah, white women stuff.
Oh, there will be some of that in there.
Good. If you have a song that's against white women, get me and Lee on it.
Okay, I will.
DJ's right here. He's taking notes.
And there will be other songs on there like too that are not related to any of the things I talked about, but yeah, that's pretty much like the overall arching theme of the album. It's pretty much like my Yeezes.
I like the idea of anything like anti critics and shit, because people take the word of critics as God sometimes.
I have a skit idea in my head that there will be one that I don't want to give any spoilers because I don't spoil it, but one involving Fantano. I have a skit idea.
People really take his word as the fucking Bible itself. Like.
And okay, so my goal with this album, well, it doesn't mean it's gonna happen, but my goal is that I want this to be. It's really hard to like measure impact or whatever, but I want this one to be listened to more than like any other stuff I've made, even any content I made. Period. And I want it to be like a thing where you have these songs with the subject matters and stuff, and it might make people mad, but it'd be funny if Fantano heard some anti-Fantano thing I made. Sometimes he'll tweet stuff or like will say something. He'll comment on because there's been people that made songs about him and stuff. He always responds, and it'd be hilarious if he responds as something kind of like a negative joke towards me, because I can picture it happening, and they will give me more publicity. All this in the end will give me more publicity. It's the Eminem, Tyler the Creator thing when they started out.
Yeah.
They did all this stuff, this edgy stuff, and my project's actually being a little more extreme than any of their stuff. I'm gonna go balls deep.
No homo.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's gonna be as impactful as their first albums or anything, but I kind of want to. I didn't go on my way beginning when I started making music to make music like that, but I'm in that state of mind right now, and so it's perfect. And I want to. I think it'd be cool if this album, because all these lyrics, it's very heavy on the subject matters and stuff, because there are people that make edgy rap music that say fuck the government and stuff like that, but I want to start doing. There's so much stuff that nobody covers or attacks or anything. So many things, just little things, and that all annoy us and stuff. And I just want to cover it. I want to be the first one to do it in a different way, because it's not just going to be an edgy album. There's going to be some other songs about different things, and so I'm not trying to go. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I have a hard time explaining art, but yeah, I just want it to be an interesting album, I guess, to sum up my rambling. But yeah, interesting, unique album. I guess that's my goal, and cause people to discuss it, I guess. But.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I respect any musical endeavor that's not boring as fuck. So good on you.
Obviously, you hate Blxcklist.
Yeah. I can't stand Blxcklist. The worst. The woke.
I just think it's so weird. That's why I want to make this album, because I felt for a long time we've had people like XX and Teshawn and stuff. Tekashi, they're controversial figures, but they're controversial figures with acts they did and stuff. And we've never had it's so weird. We're in a state, I feel not just with music, but with film and different things, where it's people are they might go out of their way to be edgy or controversial or whatever, but they're not going the full mile. They're just yeah, fuck Trump, and that's it. That's how far they go. They don't go any deeper than that. And I don't know. not just this album, but like things I'm gonna work on in general, just other random projects. It's not like I'm trying to always be provocative necessarily, but I just feel like people are like too scared to like express themselves and stuff, and it's very odd because that's the whole point of art. It doesn't have to be controversial. It's like maybe use a sound like maybe in a rap song. It's like, hey, I want to put the hook to be a I don't know, black metal hook. I don't know. Like you don't have to limit yourself. I just like I want to make music and films and stuff that are not necessarily going on a way to be different, but not limiting myself. Like I can't see this. I can't use this type of sound. I can't film things like this. I'm just gonna go for it. It's just not, criticism doesn't. Some e-girl's opinion is not gonna matter to me at the end of the day. Not really anybody's. Like I don't care about. Even when I say I want this album to have impact, it's not. Even if it doesn't do anything, it's just like my other projects where nobody cares a shit. It's fine. I made it. It's just something I made. I don't really care to ever be a famous person.
As long as it's impactful to you, then that's what really matters. If your music, somebody else can fuck with it.
And I don't really care. At this point in time, I don't really care to be. Like for the longest time, I think this is how I shot myself in the foot. I always tried to be. I always wanted to be, like, not like, the greatest artist in the world, but I always wanted to be like kind of popular and stuff. And I think that's where I shot myself in the foot because it's like I'm at this point in time where I'm just like I don't really care about being popular. I don't care about if everybody dislikes something I made. I really don't care. It's just I don't care about having this many friends and stuff, and I just don't care. It's just it's fine if I'm niche. It's fine that if I lived a solitary life, just I don't know, working in like a blue collar job, and I just make music once in a blue mood or whatever. Like it doesn't matter really. I used to like have these weird fantasies like when I was like a teen. Like I have to at 20 I have to make this album, and then 2 years from now I have to make this movie, and then I'm gonna meet these artists people, and I'm gonna be popular because I did that. I don't think like that anymore. When you think like that, you just go nowhere. You can't accurately live. You have to do things, not really. You can dream and stuff, but you have to do things. And the problem is I didn't do anything. I just fantasized about all these like projects I want to do. I did none of them. I fantasized how my life was going to be at like 21, and nothing happened because I didn't do anything. And they're very inaccurate, weird goals. I mean, they're possible, but they're not. I have to start little and then build myself up instead of just going to the extreme. And I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but
no, I had to for a long period of time. I in order to like kick myself in the ass enough to do shit, I had to set like it was essentially like suicide goals because I was like so unstable. Granted, I was like younger than I am now.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, but I was like mentally unstable and all of this shit. I just felt like a lot of stuff was like piling up when you don't start reaching goals at a certain point. Like I think a goal I set for myself when I was in high school was, and I told all my friends, I'm still friends with them too, all my IRL friends, I should say. I was like, yeah, if I don't make it by 2020, we're gonna plan some like spectacular suicide for me, and that was a genuine thing that I had in my mind, was like, oh, if I don't make it by by age 21 or whatever, like, but it's so like unhealthy. It got shit done for a little bit, and then you burn yourself out.
Yeah,
and you need to, like have passion.
I think that's funny because like since I started making music, really, when I knew like this is what I want to do is if I'm not popular, if this is not my career, by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. There's nothing else for me to live for, and that literally just changed very recently when I found out I was having a kid. Now, instead of if I don't make it 30, killing myself, it's I'm going to make it by 30 because that's how I'm going to take care of my kids. And it's just been that one big goal that I've had that has always drove me. I've never made small goals for myself. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this by this time. I'm going to do that album by this time. It's just this is going to be my career. This is what me and my family is going to live on. And that's it. And that's gotten me this far. And I'm best friends with my musical idols like Komato and Midas and Drown Guy, all of them. Like my best friends in the entire world are people that I've been listening to for years. Like people that have idolized music from there. Like I'm making money off my music, and it's all because of that one thing.
Yeah.
Seriously, man. That's like, I don't know. I really like that about FBN as a whole. Julian, you need to be added to the chat, to be honest. Like
I don't really care to. I mean, I'm not like no offense. It's just I don't really want to be a part of any group like that anymore. Like I have been in groups like that in the past, and I've met good people, but it just always ends badly for me.
Usually, I guess I think that's why.
And there's a lot of people on Facebook that don't like me and stuff, so I don't. That's why I created that this account that we're talking on or whatever. But yeah.
Right.
I get what you're saying, but I used to think like that, right? And ever since I heard about FBN, I was always attracted to their demeanor and the way like they do their thing, and they all work like clockwork. Everybody compliments on each other at the end. And that's the best part, right?
Yeah, I think did anybody cut out? I heard something.
Because you are.
Oh, okay. Hello? It got quiet,
Julian,
like... It got quiet.
Can you not hear it?
What's that?
I can hear Lee pretty well. I don't know if you can hear him.
And the audio just dropped drastically. That's why I was wondering if anybody cut out.
No. I can hear...
I can hear Lee too, but, is Lee talking right now?
No. Lee was just talking.
Okay. I was getting scared because I heard a sound, and then the audio just got... Everything, the background just got quiet. Okay. What was I saying? About groups, something. I was gonna say something. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, groups suck. Collectives suck. That's why I hate this fucking suck. I hate living with my collective.
I've been. It's just I don't. I'm just not real. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
Turn your music down, and I will.
But that's what I was saying was about the goals thing. Like I just felt like I was living it. I lived a lie, sort of, like with when I was talking about like my fantasies and stuff, and oh yeah, I'm gonna do this project, and end up not doing it because I didn't do anything, and that's why at this point, like since this year, like I'm not it just doesn't matter. I just will make anything whenever it's the right time, and I don't care if I just live this like even for my rest of my life, I just work like in real work and just make random projects here and there. I don't really care. The whole popularity thing and impressing people just doesn't interest me anymore. But yeah.
I feel like that's part of growing up, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like realizing, unless you make it, like you're Joey Badass and you start making waves at like age 16, which no one in this call has. Obviously, like we're not.
Yeah,
like,
and I thought I had weird fantasies and stuff where I was gonna be that guy, and that was I think that's what hurt me more than actually. It didn't really push me. It just kind of hurted me more because I wasn't being realistic about myself, I think. But,
yeah.
And yeah, and if I ever do, get really popular one of these days, I won't ever be a rich person. I know this. I'll never be a rich person. I'll at most I'll just have a cult following, pretty much. That's the highest.
Cult followings can be lucrative too. Like I've got a really small cult following, and that's led me to do crazy shit like go to Florida and do a show there, and like go on a tour, and
right.
It's like the way I see it is money and fit. You invite me in here to take a dab, and then you took the whole dab. You're ridiculous. Hold up. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the water is big. The water. Get back to the lake. Come on back to me. Take your drugs. I'm trying. I think you're dead. No. I gotta finish it, bro. I gotta finish it. Sorry, I know I was in the middle of saying something. But I had to take that dab. He turned down his music just so I could do this podcast and take a dab. But yeah. So like focusing less on like money, fame,
an image,
shit like that.
Yeah.
Those are all like side effects of what you should be focused on, which is like the success of your shit. And success is dependent on how you're the one who measures it. No one else measures it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the one making the measurements and shit. Like, you don't have to obey the law of, I have to be as popular as fucking, like, Kanye and shit. Or even as popular as, like, SGP, you know?
Yeah.
You just gotta, like, you gotta feel like you're doing what you want to do, and the success is gonna, like, I feel like it rolls in after you figure out what you want to do.
And
not saying I know from experience, because I don't even think I'm successful or anything like that, but
right.
It's like a process.
Yeah, and like I like I said, I won't be rich. I might make a living off of this stuff, but I won't be rich. And the type of person I am, like my social media presence is not going to help me. Because, I besides music, and podcasts and stuff, my biggest medium, my favorite medium is film. And I will never be picked up by Hollywood. The social media presence I have and stuff, never. Talking about Hollywood pedos and stuff. Never.
Yeah.
Never. So I'm aware of that. I used to not be aware of that, but I'm aware of that now. It's like you'll never... The most famous I'll ever get, I think, I'd be like a Sam Hyde or like a Vincent Gallo or something. One of those two where they have a cult following, but they're not like nobody. A lot of people know who, like normies know who they are, and they're people that make a living off of their things, but they can't really go further in the industry, the Hollywood industry and stuff, because their social media presence and their opinions on the industry and stuff. So it's not like anybody's gonna give them acting roles and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's definitely where I fall too. That's why I feel like you and I get along for the most part, is because we both have, regardless of what we agree or disagree on, we both agree to not censor ourselves.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they begin to censor themselves when they want to like reach fame and things like that. And I think hiding your image is just like your true image, you know, your true self. Molding a new man out of what you were given is not something you should do unless you were like an awful, shitty person trying to like mold yourself to do better. That's fine, but like yeah, literally anything that goes under the definition of like e-boy, e-girl shit, like people like that, they see like they see these aesthetics, they're like, oh, it's so cool, and then they like switch their entire being to be based off of what they like rather than what they like is based off of who they are, you know?
Yeah, and like the people I mentioned and stuff, they also, you know, they make a living off of their art and stuff, but they also do kind of they still like do like regular work stuff. They make money off of doing just like fucking blue collar shit, and that's where I kind of see myself. I don't know. I just don't see myself being in a mansion rolling around just because of my record sales. And
shit. It's unrealistic for most people to think like that anyway. And, I don't know why half the people that think like that do in the first place, because it's so even if you're rich and you have the disposable income to throw at whatever promotion, engineers, big name features and producers, whatever the fuck you need. You work with Metro Boomin on a song, Jake Paul on the hook. You know, DJ Metro Boomin featuring Jake Paul, bro. No, you gotta like build yourself. You can't inflate yourself and
I started getting better. And you know what's funny with, you know, having this mentality, this more kind of humble mentality, is I've gotten better at making beats, and I'm so when it comes to music, I've gotten better at making beats. I've for, you know, the film or visual art stuff I always do all the time. I'm aware of like my own aesthetic and stuff. I used to not even have one or even know what it was or anything. And it's weird because I think the reason why is because I got in tune to myself, not what I think things were. And when you're more in tune to like how things are, like image or popular things like that, you don't really have like. That's why, like, when you listen to your, like, music and sort of watch videos or something, it seems a little more... I'm not saying all the stuff I've made in the past is soulless, but it is more soulless than before when I, you know, didn't... It stopped caring about that stuff. And I think that's a lot of people, like, you know, they make music. If it's soulless, it's because they're probably focused on numbers and money and stuff, and the more soulful stuff's more they're focused on their actual art, the way their song might sound, the way the colors on, let's say they're a painter, the colors on their painting, how they contrast with one another. You know, it when you get more in tune to yourself, I think you actually become a better creator and artist and stuff. But yeah, I want to wrap this part up and get to the movie discussion thing.
Oh, I suppose.
What happened to Lee?
You and Lee are gonna have more to talk about.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish. So.
What happened to Lee? He's on. Is his mic even on?
I can hear Lee pretty well.
Okay, so we watched the movie. Well, we watched another movie too, but both of us never finished it, which was Oy Vey, My Son is Gay. Which was...
It's the Radical Sheev autobiography.
And Max didn't watch any of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got through like 10 minutes. I got through 10 minutes of Oy Vey, My Son is Gay, and I knew everything I needed to know.
It's
Can
not
we just
good.
pretend that movie doesn't exist, please?
It is not good. It's not funny bad. It's just boring bad.
No, it's pretty funny, bro. Pretty funny, not gonna lie.
It's funny because he's a Jew and he's gay.
And he's gay, yeah. It's like
Man,
Adam from Cumtown, the movie.
Anyways, but we both, me and Lee both watched Island of Lost Souls, which was an interesting pick. Well, I picked it, like all these movies I pick at random, and it's interesting because I believe it's the oldest movie I've ever talked about on like the podcast, because most of the movies we talk about on here, not with Lee because he's a special guest, but with like Carlos and Tino, the usuals, we always talk about like movies from the last 20 years or whatever. Usually we've done stuff from like
Lee is a special guest, but I'm not.
You're a special guest too, but you didn't watch any of the movies.
I wrote all the short busts at school. I'm definitely a special guest.
Yeah.
No, I watched the first 10 minutes and I read the Wikipedia summary.
Okay.
I read the synopsis. I'm good, bro. I know what I'm talking about.
But we're talking about Island. We're not talking about the Oy Vey movie.
Why not? I think that deserves to be spoken on.
All three of us didn't sit through the whole movie.
It's you know, the 10 minutes I saw, I was really impressed. The cinematography.
I would have watched it if they would have casted like Adam Sandler instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a dope Adam Sandler movie.
That'd be the best Adam Sandler movie. Solid writing.
But Island of Lost Souls is the oldest movie I think I've ever talked about. Not on my channel, I don't think, overall, but like definitely on a podcast. Is the oldest. Like I was saying, we usually talk about movies from the last 20 years, and the oldest I've done is like movies from like the 70s and stuff, but this one is ancient. This one came out in 1934. It's an old one. That's when my great-grandpa was around. My grandpa wasn't even born in 1934. It's old as hell. Anyways, how I discovered this movie was like 8 years ago, maybe. I was a fan of the band Devo, and I remember watching some videos and stuff where the members were talking about how this movie was the inspiration for the band, and I've never watched the movie until like 8 years later, and I put it on my watch list, and then I finally watched it for this podcast. And yeah, I actually liked it. I don't think it's one of the best of the like the 30s horror movies, because this movie is usually considered one of the best. Some people consider it the best 30s horror movie. What's that?
It's a horror movie?
It's kind of a sci-fi movie, sort of. Well, it's based on the Island of Dr. Moreau book. I don't know if you've heard of that book. It's by H.G. Wells, who did
no, that's cool. I don't know shit about things.
But H.G. Wells, he's the one that wrote like Time Machine and Invisible Man and War of the Worlds and stuff. But this one was like books, so this is an adaptation. There's been a lot of Island Dr. Moreau adaptations which have been crap, which I've seen. And this is actually probably the best one. So that's why it's called Island of Lost Souls. They called it that to avoid like copyright issue or something like that, because it's called, their book is Island Dr. Moreau, but they call it Island of Lost Souls to like avoid. They used to do that like back then and stuff to avoid being sued. But what was I gonna say? So a lot of people talk about this movie and stuff, like in the Kino film community. This actually gets brought up, and this movie's even one of Gaspar Noé's favorite movies. He's the guy who did like Enter the Void and like Climax and stuff. Which I thought was interesting. Like after watching it, that was one of his favorites. But I thought it was a pretty good movie. I got some notes. So the plot is there's a guy who's he's gonna get married to this girl or whatever, and this is back in the day when they didn't have like jets or anything. They went on like ships and shit. So and they stay at this island, which is the island of Dr. Moreau, and Dr. Moreau is a weird fuck who experiments on people and tries to combine their DNA with like animal DNA or something, and and the whole movie is kind of they trying to get off the island, pretty much. But his girlfriend he's gonna get married to visits him later in the movie. Also note, like, this movie was actually a lost film for a long time, and they recently rediscovered it. Also to note that the two popular actors in it are Charles Laughton. He was in a lot of old movies, but Bela Lugosi's in it. He's the guy who played the most like famous Dracula and stuff. He's the one responsible for all the Dracula stereotypes, like the Count and stuff. The Count, like on Sesame Street, it's like a impersonation of Bela Lugosi. But
Wait, that was the Count on Sesame Street?
No, I'm saying the Count on Sesame Street is based off of the actor Bela Lugosi who played Dracula a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
So he's like the Dracula stereotype is Bela Lugosi, Dracula, pretty much. This movie, so the acting in a lot of like movies around this time can be kind of bad because most of the actors were stage actors, and so they will act really over dramatic. Like there's a scene in this movie, like I think this is a good movie, but there's a scene in the movie that was really off-putting where him and like his girlfriend are like holding each other and they're gonna run away from something, and he doesn't look at the camera, but he kind of does, and says he kind of looks like towards like looks at like the crew members almost, and like and says like, we have to get out of here or something, like really obviously, because back then like I was saying, a lot of these actors were play actors, and that's how you act in plays and stuff. You have to be like super obvious. But this movie too, like,
I noticed that at the beginning where he like first woke up on the boat and he looked directly into the camera for
yeah
like 3 minutes and went
yeah. There's stuff like that because they were all play actors, and in plays that's what you have to do to show emotion and stuff. But so
I related to it. I was like, damn, that's me after 3 lines of code.
The opening of the movie is very similar to the opening of the movie, which actually I rewatched today. Is the I don't know if you saw The Lighthouse. I don't know if any of you seen that movie.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah.
Man, I've been wanting to see it, but like I never did because I don't have Wi-Fi.
Okay, but the opening of that movie is very similar to the opening of this. Like The Lighthouse is, I'm pretty sure it's kind of an homage to this movie because it homages like movies around this time. Dude, the punching scenes in this movie are fucking hilarious. They're fucking weird. Like everybody like falls over easily, and it's like like the scene with like the Chad captain who doesn't give a fuck.
Fucking drunk captain. It
Yeah.
looks like when you make action figures hit each other.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of punching, like falling over and shit. And then the makeup I thought was good. It's pretty fucking weird. How the people look and how they act, like the people on the island or whatever, the natives. They're not really natives, but they're good.
Every time they stuck their face directly in the camera and just made funny noises.
Yeah. And
those are my favorite parts.
There's one of the characters. One of the natives there's a scene where he's a simp. He's a simp chimp. He's breaking into the main guy's girlfriend's room when they finally somehow find the coordinates to the island or whatever, and the simp chimp is like breaking the girl's room, and it's like actually like a very rapey scene. Like,
yeah, the lady screams for like 2 minutes straight.
Yeah, and
I was making grilled cheese and I heard that and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. The Charles Lawton and Dr. Moreau, I thought was good. He's very like, so there's another dude, him and there's that one guy that's on the island, not the main dude, but that one guy who I'm pretty sure is gay. You know what I'm talking about? The not the main dude, but the other guy that's with him. That's always smoking the pipe. No pun intended. He's always smoking the pipe and stuff. All like fancy, the fancy like British dude. I'm pretty sure he's gay. Yeah. Him and Dr. Moreau. Yeah, him and Dr. Moreau they're good, but they're very like kind of over the top how they talk and stuff. Like,
yeah, they got nothing on the homie Edward.
Yeah. And Bela Lugosi as he's like the leader of the tribe or something. He actually like is actually good in this. You know, he's a famous actor and stuff, but a lot of stuff I've seen him and I didn't think was, you know, very good, like acting wise, but he plays a good over the top performance. So yeah, the movie ends where so they're escaping and Dr. Moreau's like well, he's sus throughout the entire movie, but then he tells a native to like kill this dude, and he does. The native kills the one dude, the captain or whatever, and then the natives are like, you're not supposed to kill people because throughout the movie they're like, it's bad to kill people, it's breaking the law, and then they rebel against Dr. Moreau because he broke the law because he told that native to kill the dude and he did it, and they jump on a boat like a raft and ride off, and at the end I kind of thought like, how far is the closest island if they're just on a little raft, because like you can't travel that far with a raft. Like, I mean you can, but like the weather conditions
you think Edward would know that by now because he was already stuck on a raft?
Oh yeah.
It's like, fuck it, raft time again.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
And the fact that they left the island, because the savage people, I don't know, I call them cavemen throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
They just were like, oh no, we killed a man. We tell on him. Okay, now we kill the guy that told the guy to kill the guy. Okay, now we kill Leader Man. House of Pain time. Light Island on fire.
Yeah.
It was such a weird thing of events.
Yeah, it's kind of... I have mixed feelings about the ending. It's a really short movie. But, like... I don't want to say it's a rushed ending, because it's a... You know, it makes sense that the ending would be like that, like in a short movie like that. But it's just kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit underwhelming.
I wanted to know more about the Chimera experimenting. I was like, damn, this movie's about to be on some birdie type shit, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, like
it almost was.
A lot of movies from this time weren't really that like deep. They're very basic plots. Like the first Frankenstein movie is very basic. It's just like, okay, like the first Frankenstein, it's like they find the corpse, they resurrect the corpse, he's alive, he runs off, he kills a girl, he goes somewhere, villagers find him and kill him. Like, a lot of these movies around that time were very basic. They didn't really go any like deep on lore or anything. Like, and they were like, you know, mainstream movies for the time, and audiences didn't really give a shit about lore, really. They just were excited to go out for the evening and see a movie, pretty much. But yeah, this movie, I liked it. I just don't think it's one of like the best like of the classic horror movies. I know there's a lot of people that will say it is, but I don't know. I just don't really think so. There's ones I like better. Yeah. I don't really have much to say about it. It's a very basic movie. Not a bad movie, but just a very like kind of basic movie. Do you have anything else to say about it?
No, it was good. It was. I stopped to watch this movie, and I don't regret that. And I also watched the movie while driving.
Okay.
Because it was enjoyable. I don't condone that things were like that. It was good enough. I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
What do you give it out of?
I give it a 10 out of 10.
I'm not.
I can't hear you, Lee. You're like muffling.
Hello.
Hi.
What did you give it?
I'd give it a 4 out of 10. It was
A 4 out of 10?
Okay. 4 out of 10.
So it's like mediocre movie?
No, that's a. I hate movies. That's a good. that's a good rate for me.
Okay. I give it.
I don't have the attention span.
Because when I give 4 out of 10s, they're usually more negative. Like, but your scale is different from mine. Your scale is different from mine.
I'll bump it up to 6.
Okay. That would be like average, positive, in my scale.
I give it a 5 out of 7.
I'll give it. I give it a 7 out of 10. It's closer to a 6 than an 8.
It's Leon Vegas recommended, so I'm gonna have to give it a 10.
Okay. All right.
Leon Vegas be giving them fire recommendations.
Is it actually a Leon Vegas recommended movie?
No.
Every movie, yes, every movie is a Leon Vegas recommended movie, baby.
I don't know.
Every single one of them.
I hate it. I changed my mind about it. I take back everything.
Cinema as a concept is a Leon Vegas proved thought process. Like, bro, you don't understand how powerful Leon Vegas is. Who's calling me?
Hold
up, Bazooka Joe is calling me. I'll be right back from FBI.
Oh my god.
Hold up,
Oh my god, Alex.
Did you get any? Is there any Q&A answers? Did anybody send anything? Or not?
I don't know. I haven't been on Facebook because I'm post blocked.
Oh fuck! Did you share?
Yeah.
Or make a post?
No, I can't because I can't do anything
Okay.
at all on my Facebook.
Doing a podcast. Oh, we did get questions, and it was, tell Lee I love him. There is no link.
Oh, thanks. That's from my girlfriend who's sitting right next to me.
All right, well.
Shout out my girlfriend.
I guess there's no Q&A, guys. Our listeners ruined Christmas this year. Anyways.
Wait, do you have any questions, Lily? Now that you're sitting next to me, this is your time.
No, baby. You better shut up.
Okay, I have returned.
I'm not even kidding.
Okay, do you guys want to... Do you guys want to talk?
Hold up, Bazooka Joe had a message. I need to relay this message from Bazooka Joe of FBN.
Okay.
He said I love you guys. And then he asked, what do the numbers mean on Haters Will See You Teleport? My very famous meme song.
Yeah.
And then, which I answered. And then he asked, if you were to eat at Wingstop right now, what kind of wings would you get?
I would get, just based off of like the now, not necessarily my favorite wings, but just the now would be, I'd go with something basic, because I'm a basic kind of guy. I'm a simple kind of guy.
Some regular hot wings.
Honey barbecue. Honey barbecue.
Honey barbecue. Okay.
I'm a simple man.
I'd get like the really spicy buffalo wings. Not like the hottest, because I'm feeling daring, but not too daring. But I'd get like the second hottest wings.
Okay. I said garlic parmesan, and he said he called 10 other people, and 6 of them have said garlic parmesan. So I'm in the majority.
You're a normie.
I am a normie now. I am a normie faggot.
Yeah.
Oh God, how does it feel?
It sucks. Feels bad, man.
The garlic parmesan wings might be pretty good. I don't know, because I don't like garlic parmesan wings that much.
You don't like them? You don't like garlic parmesan, bro?
It depends. I've got a very limited...
What do you mean it depends? What does it depend on?
It depends on my mood. Like, if you present to me buffalo wings or garlic parmesan, if I look at a menu and I see buffalo wings versus garlic parmesan wings, I'm gonna pick
Bro,
I'd get buffalo too.
But if somebody served me garlic parmesan wings,
garlic parmesan's good, but
you feel me?
Y'all are wild.
I feel like garlic parmesan's like when people are trying to be fancy, because it sounds fancy. Yes, the garlic parmesan. I'll go home. I'll order a garlic parmesan and a Sobe green tea. I'll order garlic parmesan wings and a green tea Sobe, and go home and watch Stalker and watch Stalker on my Criterion Blu-ray. Yes.
Okay,
that's what
first
I think
of all, I just watched Stalker. Second of all, you're acting like, I'll go back. I ordered garlic parmesan fucking wings from Wingstop, bro, and I got my Sobe tea. I just got done going to the gym. I'm heading back to my $2,000 a month studio flat in fucking LA. I have no car. I'm gonna walk everywhere, bro. I'm not a faggot for wanting garlic parmesan wings, bro. It's not a prestigious taste. You don't need a palate of a god to enjoy some parmesan wings.
I like them. I like them. It's just not one I'd like.
I'm
ever
on
crave.
all y'all.
It's just wings I just never. It's not the type I ever crave.
You know, the shit of the talking fucking international ring of pedophiles earlier, the satanic cabal, the fucking shit movie, the Oy vey, my son is gay, all of that, I was not very angry over. This, I'm pretty upset. I'm pretty fucking upset, to be honest. I feel betrayed.
We're gonna go to the nearest Wingstop and we're gonna enjoy some garlic parmesan.
I'm pulling back up on you, and we are robbing every Wawa in the area.
You know where I want to rob?
What?
the Criterion Closet.
Yeah, what about it?
I want to rob the Criterion Closet so I can steal some Kinos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You feeling base?
And then I'll go on Letterboxd and I'll be like, yeah, just watch the red shoes on my stolen Criterion that I stole from the Criterion Closet, and then those like girls on there with like with their first name lowercase will be like, oh my god, Julian, oh my god, Radical Sheep, you're so hot. Oh, do you want to come over and watch The Beach Bum with me, Radical Sheep?
The Beach Bum starring Lucas Werner?
Dude, I should make a movie with Lucas Werner.
Bro, I would love a movie that's like Lucas Werner. He has to lose like 200 pounds to fit the role, and he plays like Terry Davis for an autobiography or something. That would be fire. That would be gas. Bro,
a Lucas Werner document or autobiography.
We need something of substance from him. He has like no manifesto. Like, I'm gonna be honest. You know, for a pedophile, he's kind of lazy. Like, he is kind of lazy, and now he's homeless. Like, bro, how do you get homeless on unemployment?
Right.
Where do you keep the children if you're homeless?
Yeah, how do you fuck kids if you don't even have a home, bro? Like, what? How do you invite them? Hey kid, you want to come over to this bush? No, I don't want to come over to your bush, strange man. I saw you on Tosh.0. I know what you're about.
No. I saw him smoking the joint.
Lucas Werner.
Oh yeah. The word is getting lit right now, bro.
Lucas Werner is just a Harmony Korine character. He is. Essentially, that's all he is.
Every time I think of Lucas Werner, I just think of what's it? God, it's my favorite show, but I can't remember it. I'm so high.
Dude, I have an idea. Do a shot-for-shot remake of Joker, but with Lucas Werner. It's Joker.
Lee, can I post this picture of me holding you by the legs and caption it 90s Bambino meets fan? Because I'm wearing the net punk gear.
Are you comparing me to my girlfriend's 18?
I just want to get canceled again, that's all.
Don't get me canceled on my post-Broadway. I can't get post-Broadway. Go for it.
I got you, bro. Can I promote what I'm doing right now, music-wise?
Yes.
Okay. Keep this. Okay.
Hold on. Not yet. I gotta... Okay, promote whatever you're gonna promote.
So, you know, COVID's going on right now.
Yeah.
So I made an EP called Cathartic Self-Harm that's dropping this month. I've had it done and scheduled for quite some time now, and the release date is right around the corner. I dropped a single off of it called 5K Love. I'm going to drop the music video for that relatively soon. If not on my Komatos channel, it'll be on the Q Boys channel. And that's like side shit. That's like I just got bored. But I'm working on the follow-up to my debut album, 3 AM Manic Episode. It's gonna be called Revenge Fantasy. I'm burping a lot. But yeah. So Revenge Fantasy. I dropped a crazy single off of it called "Hoes Love Small Dicks. They Just Afraid to Admit It." And it's quite good. I'm gonna release a music video for that. And then next, let's see. I got a single dropping produced by Crook and Bloodline Genesis from Space Ghost Perps, fabled Black Money Boys collective. Mm-hmm. And then the last single I'm gonna drop is either gonna be the Letterboxd Reviews song. This is not a joke. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. I basically freestyled while sipping cranberry juice and sitting down on DJ's couch. I freestyled over this beat he made in half an hour. And then we called it Letterboxd Reviews, and it's a Leon Vegas diss track. And either that, or I've got this joint called Heavy R, it's produced by Deject, and it's featuring Young Davon and Slug Christ. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Yeah, Heavy R, the porn website, the one where you find a rape play and shit porn.
It's the only porn site that exists.
It's the only porn site I use, to be quite honest.
Exactly. It's Blxcklist and Komato approved. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah, that's how you know that shit's rancid. Kanan probably is all over that shit right now too. I guarantee you. If you're rancid, go use Heavy R right now. I don't usually support porn like that, but go use Heavy R.
Stream it to your mother's smart TV.
Yeah. Make sure she's listening. That's about all. I secretly do have another project that's gonna drop soon.
Do you guys have a lot more time left for more discussion?
I have all the time in the world.
Do you, Max?
I've got time now that I'm fucking laid off and.
Okay. I have something to read to you. I've always wanted to read to you, Max, for quite a while because I think you'd like it. But,
okay.
I'm gonna stop this segment real quick, and I'm gonna go pee before I read it. So, because it's a long one.
While you go pee, don't stop it. Let Lee promote his shit.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's see. I've got an untitled EP coming out when I hit 200 followers, which will be very soon. I've got a single, Mobile Suit Gundam, coming out in about a week. I have a coronavirus related thing as well out right now. Swamp Sector 1.5 Corona out on the FBN channel. Very sexy. With Drum Sins. Shout out Drums. I love you very much.
I miss you, Drum Sins.
God, I can't wait to see that play again. I have a kid coming soon in October. Shout out either Lee or Lila. I don't know what gender you are, dude. Sorry, can't. I'm not gonna force that upon you. I love you, and I'm gonna make you listen to this, pussy.
I like how you announced your child as like an album.
Yeah.
I was about to start spamming you with that Drake photo or that Pusha T photo that says you are hiding a child.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Baby list.
Baby list.
Connecting thing.
I'm back.
Yo, this man just announced a child. You missed the greatest. You missed the greatest release schedule of all time. I'm out here eating tiramisu Oreos, talking about fucking Blxcklist, bro.
This is nuts.
Do you want me to read the thing now?
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna stop this segment. So Max.
Yeah.
And potentially Lee. So this is someone I mentioned, like, briefly earlier. You know who, Vincent Gallo is?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know that he sells his sperm for $1 million?
No, I did not know that.
Okay, well, on his website, under his merchandise section, where you can buy his shirts and stuff,
right,
you can buy his sperm for $1 million, and he wrote a detailed write-up on how to do it and the benefits of buying his sperm, and I have to read it because this is too gold, and a lot of the stuff he wrote is like stuff we like joke about and talk about on this podcast and stuff, so that's why I want to read it. So I'll read from the beginning. Price includes all costs related to one attempt at an I can't read because I'm dyslexic, fertilization of $50,000 value. If the first attempt at the fertilization is unsuccessful, purchaser of sperm must pay all medical costs related to additional attempts. Mr. Gallo will supply sperm for as many attempts as it takes to complete a successful successful delivery. Sperm is 100% guaranteed to be donated by Mr. Gallo, who is drug, alcohol, and disease free. If the purchaser of the sperm chooses the option of natural insemination, there is an additional charge of $500,000. However, if after being presented detailed photographs of the purchaser, Mr. Gallo may be willing to waive the natural insemination fee and charge only for the sperm itself. Those of you who have found this merchandise page are very well aware of Mr. Gallo's multiple talents. But to add further insight into the value of Mr. Gallo's sperm, aside from being multi-talented in all creative fields, he was also multi-talented as an athlete, winning several awards for performing in the games of baseball, football, and hockey, and making it to the professional level of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. Mr. Gallo is 5'11", has blue eyes. There are no known genetic deformities in his ancestry, parentheses, no cripples, and no history of cognitive diseases. If you have seen the brown bunny, you know the potential size of the genitals. If it's a boy, 8 inches. If he's like his father, I don't know exactly how a well-hung father can enhance the physical makeup of a female baby, but it can't hurt. Mr. Gallo also presently maintains a distinctly full head of hair at the age of 43, has surprisingly few gray hairs, though his features are sharp and extreme. They would probably blend well with a softer and more subtly featured female. Mr. Gallo maintains the right to refuse sale of sperm to those who are of extremely dark complexions. Though a fan of Franco Harris, Derek Jeter, Lenny Kravitz, Lena Horne, Mr. Gallo does not want to be part of that type of integration. In fact, for the next 30 days, he is offering $50,000 discount to any potential female purchaser who can prove she has natural blonde hair and blue eyes. Anyone who can prove direct family to any of the German soldiers of the mid-century will also receive this discount. Under the laws of the Jewish faith, a Jewish mother would qualify a baby to be deemed a member of the Jewish religion. This would be added incentive for Mr. Gallo to sell his sperm to a Jew mother. His reasoning being with the slim chance that his child moved into the profession of motion picture acting or become a musical performer, this connection to the Jewish faith will guarantee his offspring a better chance at good reviews, maybe even a prize at the Sundance Film Festival or an Oscar. To be clear, the purchase of Mr. Gallo's sperm does not include the use of the name Gallo. The purchaser must find another surname of the child.
Oh my god.
I know for a fact I've read that multiple times. I love that so much.
That is beautiful.
I'm gonna make that my Tinder bio.
Yeah, fuck whatever we're working on. Go buy this man's sperm.
Listen, $1 million isn't that much, okay? I'm sure I could find some friends that'll pitch in.
E-girls always talk about, they're selling nudes. People even sell dick pics and stuff. Come on. $1 million for sperm beats all of that. It's...
Hey, I posted a thing, too little too late, but I posted Ask Me Anything on the podcast for us. We got like 3 comments. Nameless said, "Tell Lee I love you."
Yeah, we read it earlier.
No, we got more though.
Oh, okay.
Drown God said there was no link because I thought this was gonna be a live one, so I said I'd post the link. And then Leon Vegas said, "Shout me out." So, I'm not gonna shout out Leon Vegas.
Yeah, he sucks.
You're in my collective, Corey. Fuck you.
I'm in love with you, Leon. Can you share my song now on Facebook.com since I'm post-like on Facebook.com?
Who's making a Harsh Noise album right now?
It's Lee.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that there was a microphone on both mics. Someone's fucking with my other one. Good man.
So, I can, so basically, Vincent Gallo's the Kino Space Ghost perp. Kinda.
Bro, for real.
He's like hated by like, certain communities and stuff, but he still has that niche people that, think he's funny or whatever, or actually like his stuff. But yeah, he's practically he's kind of a weird dude because like he's never really been like famous really, but people just kind of know who he is, sort of. But I feel like Space Ghost Perp's kind of the same way, like. But, yeah,
he definitely is.
we must protect people like that in this world.
He doesn't deserve the hate. Protect SGP.
Protect SGP.
He would probably retweet it. He'd probably retweet it on his 8,000th Twitter account.
Yeah, R.I.P. to all of his fucking Twitter/Instagrams.
Every time I get post-blocked, I'm like, damn, I know how Space Ghost Perp is.
You know what? I could probably... He probably won't do it, but it's not Space Ghost Perp. I could probably... Maybe finally get Vincent Gallo on the podcast. I'd have to pay him. He will do things like that if you pay him. You can just email him. He probably will ask for like $10,000 or something.
No, I'll pay him $100.
I've got like $10 to pitch in on that.
Yeah. Okay, we got $110. Vincent Gallo.
Let's do it.
Vincent Gallo, come on.
Hey, he has a secret YouTube channel.
Yeah,
yeah, he has a secret YouTube channel. He goes around. See, I'm an expert on him. See, you know how Max has Space Ghost Perp. I have Vincent Gallo.
Okay.
Vincent Gallo has a secret YouTube channel. If you look up any videos, like related videos of him, you'll find this YouTube channel that always pops up in the comments called Flower Publishing. And it's this guy that talks like him. And if you click on his channel, it's all the liked videos. There's no videos, just liked videos. It's all stuff like music or like clips of movies and stuff, like stuff he likes. He's said in like interviews and stuff. And the comments are always like referring to himself in like third person. And like he's like,
that's exactly
how
I talk.
He's like, Mr. Gallo wouldn't do this, wouldn't say this or whatever. And he always calls like people like there's this guy that he sued or whatever, and the guy has a YouTube channel, and this account always pops up under every one of the guy's videos, and he's like, this guy seems like he says like he's a bastard, and like that he's a crybaby queer and all this stuff, and just talks about himself in third person. He always says Vincent Gallo, but he tries to make it where you don't know it's actually him, but it's obviously him commenting videos.
Yeah, I like how his store is like music, print, film, art, clothing, rice, links, poster collection, miscellaneous.
He sells like shit you'd donate to Goodwill. Like there's one where he's selling like his old baby crib when he was a baby.
Bro, Vincent Gallo under personal services. Vincent Gallo evenings.
Yeah.
Gets escort 50,000.
There's a picture of him.
Wish, dream, or fantasy with Vincent Gallo, ladies only.
Is Vincent Gallo prostituting a little? Is he okay?
He said he prostituted
only to women.
He said he prostituted in the early 80s or whatever.
Only to women though.
He's yeah.
Listen,
only
it's
to women.
2020. He can't tell me I'm not a woman.
Exactly. He's a ladies' man, but you know.
He spends his whole life working 18 hours a day on fixing things and not having friends.
Yeah.
He said that in an interview. He said that. That's all he does. He just does like house projects all day and doesn't sleep and stuff. Yeah.
Could be us.
Yeah. But
we can't sell our sperm for $1 million. So
I'm not. He made.
I'll sell my sperm for 10. $10.
Only 10? Alright, well I'm throwing in 100. So.
I'll throw in maybe $3.
$3? $103. I'll give you 2 gallons.
Hey, $113, bro.
$113.
That's money. If Vincent Gallo doesn't want to appear for $113, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
God damn.
I should cast him in I should make a movie with him and revive his career.
Yeah, for real.
In my opinion, he made one masterpiece film, and he made an interesting art film. And
which do you think that is?
Have you seen any of his movies?
I've watched some, but I haven't
He directed 2 movies. He's only directed 2.
I haven't.
He's been in a lot of movies, but
he appears to have a lot of music as well.
Yeah, his music's good.
Is it?
What?
Is it like actually?
It's good. Yeah, I actually like it. It's kind of how would you call it? Not folk, but it's like rock music, but it's like mellower shit. But it's good for what it is. No, like Buffalo 66. I'm obsessed with that movie. I have an unhealthy obsession with that movie. I think that's an amazing movie. Then The Brown Boy is an interesting movie. I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. It's interesting art film, but I just can see why people hate that movie. But I think it's good for what it is. But yeah, he's acted in a bunch of movies, but most of his movies are He's acting has been shit, except for like 2 movies. But yeah,
it's weird that he's still doing things.
Yeah, and he sold shirts that he just wrote in Sharpie, like a blank shirt he wrote in Sharpie where he's selling just says Vincent Gallo's come. I
didn't know he was in the 99 Problems music video.
Yeah.
So I wanna.
He's like the hipster Forrest Gump. He's like Vin.
I wanna know if anybody's bought Vincent Gallo's. Like, has anybody tried?
I doubt it. He probably if you asked him, he'd probably say yeah. Some people did, but I bet he didn't.
There's gotta be at least one person.
Maybe.
I was like, you know what? Maybe.
Someone bought his pick.
What's that?
His guitar pick. It was sold out. It was under the section of his shop that says Rice.
Yeah, that's his band. I think one of his bands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with Rice.
I bought all the toothpick. All the toothpick. Stop.
Vincent Gallo toothpick, dog.
Wait, is he selling his toothpick?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I meant guitar pick. I'm just like incoherent.
Yeah, I feel that the edible's kind of hitting right now.
Yeah, I think one of his movies is amazing. Yes, what I'm saying. Which ones have you seen?
Bro, I've only seen that one, the Buffalo 66 one. Like, what is the brown bunny? Like, what
That's
is?
the one where he
like
gets
another
blown
one
by
he
Chloe
directed?
Sevigny.
What?
That's the one, the infamous. That's like his most famous movie. It's the one where he gets blown by Chloe Sevigny or whatever her name is. That dated Harmony Korine.
Maybe
It's the one that's always on the porn sites and stuff. It's that one. But,
I don't recall watching it. Maybe I did, but I watched like a lot of shit movies.
yeah.
Like most of the movies I watch are shit.
Yeah.
So,
I only watched the good Kinos.
Kino movies.
Even though Kino Bros don't really like his movies, but yeah. I think he's a Kino master. But
yeah.
What did you think of Buffalo 66?
It's a movie. It certainly
Did you not
is.
care? You didn't like it?
I don't know. It's like when I like weird like indie films, I like shit like I'm more of a Harmony Korine kind of guy.
See, I don't really like any of his movies. Just kind of ironic.
See, this is where we disagree, bro.
I think well, okay, the only Harmony Korine movie I actually like
Trash Uppers? You like Trash Uppers, bro?
No. Julian Donkey Boy, ironically, because my name's in it, Julian Donkey Boy is my favorite Harmony Korine movie. And I think Gummo's okay. And that's about it. For his filmography, that's about it. That's where I cut off.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like The Beach Bum. I do not like Spring Breakers. I just don't like his like style or humor.
Well,
or anything.
his newer ones have been like weird meme movies, like Spring Breakers and
I hate which he wrote it. I fucking despise kids.
Was Spring Breakers the movie with James Franco looking like Riff Rat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only movie that ever exists.
Yeah.
I love it so much. My favorite part about the movie is how the same thing happens 4 times in a row.
Bro, Harmony Korine is the only director, actually.
I just don't like his movies that much. I don't know.
You like Roman Polanski, bro?
He's made good movies.
Yeah, the child rapist.
Child Rapist has made Rosemary's Baby, Chinatown. I think that's about it for what I like about. I've never seen that movie actually.
No, are you serious?
Okay, the other night I put it on, but I fell asleep.
Go pirate it, cause don't give him money.
No, the other night I pirated it. I watched it on a full movie website, but I fell asleep. Like 15 minutes in, I fell asleep. I forgot about it.
Yeah, you gotta be awake for it.
Because it isn't like 3 hours long or something.
It's kind of long. I think it's somewhere around there. Probably less than 3. But I've watched it a couple times. I remember it got put on when I was in school once, and then like it just hit me later, like, damn, would they really let us watch a Roman?
Dude, they showed us the Shakespeare movies he made at my school.
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
When I was in school, I was thinking that, like, why are we watching a rapist movie? Because I knew that at the time. Like, why?
That's why it's weird to me. Like looking back on it, like.
Because, like, the person he raped was, like, the same age as, like, us and my classmates were at the time.
Yeah, that's the fucked part. Yeah, she was, like, 14 or some shit.
Y'all's school showed some weird movies. My school's made me watch Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Really? Damn, that's a cool high school.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, why do you think I dropped out? The Florida school system sucks. Hey, here's a movie. And then there's the test about the movie. Thanks.
About Monty Python.
But yeah, it's kind of weird, like, with, like, the movie taste thing, because, like, I was saying Buffalo 66, like, that movie, people I talk to online do not care for that movie, but people I know in real life, like, I've actually shown, I don't like weird indie movies and stuff like that movie.
Yeah, don't you live in weird-ass, like, Portland or something?
No, I don't live in Portland.
I was gonna say,
I live in a small suburb of, like, in Oregon. I live outside of, like, Corvallis, Oregon.
Don't dox yourself, bro. I'm gonna post your address one day.
Yeah, I don't say it because, yeah, there's been some weirdos. There's been people that said, like, hi to me in public, like, went up to me and said, like, they knew who I was and I didn't know who they were, and then explained why, how they knew me or whatever. So that's why I've heard that stuff.
That shit's genuinely scary.
Yeah.
Really? Somebody at a 7-Eleven in my hometown knew who I was.
I've had that.
I didn't know who they were. It was like years and years.
I've had that a lot. I don't.
I've got to look back, and I was like, oh shit.
And it's people that, like, I talk to them and they don't explain, like, how they know me, and they're people that never went to my school or anything, and either they're friends of somebody that I went to school with, and they show me, like, my YouTube channel or something, or it might just be some, like, shit poster, because there's a lot of people I have added on my Facebook account that, like, live near me and stuff, so it could be both.
Feel that one.
Yeah.
Some guy, I think I was, like, on the bus. I don't know how recent this was. I got a car this year, so I haven't really needed to take the bus. But last time I had, like, a grand venture, some guy, like, came and, like, sat next to me, and he was like, "Hey man, are you Max?" And I was like, "What do you, like, no, like I was just, like, straight up denying it, because I don't know, that, like, weirds me out when people are like, are you this person?" I'm sure that's just, like, some schizo shit, but yeah, it was this guy, and I didn't recognize him at all. He claimed to have, like, recognized me from high school or some shit like that. I like to think I wasn't that fried to the point where I forgot every single person in high school, but I don't know. That shit's weird.
What were you guys like in high school? This would be a good discussion.
I was a piece of shit.
Me and my friends and stuff used to, like, film videos around the school, like we looked like the Columbine shooters, like, filming video, like, you know how they did.
Yeah.
We look sketchy just because of that. Like, we used our school as a set. We used our school as like a set. What's that?
Just like, I was the kind of kid that like sat in the corner and like laughed at dubstep like out of my headphones, like entirely too loud. Like everybody in the class could hear I was fucking.
Oh, you're that kid. I know that. I knew that kid.
I made dubstep like all throughout like middle school and high school, so it was like the only thing I listened to because I was always stuck. And it was just it was annoying. I would punch myself, punch my 14-year-old self.
Like when I was in high school, I wasn't like a normie popular kid, but I wasn't like unpopular. Like I was known around the school, like my town in general, all like the cool kids know who I am.
I'm on a podcast right now, DJ. Stop interrupting. I'm trying to molest you, bro. He's touching me inappropriately.
Better call the popo.
Yeah, someone call the authorities, please.
And they'll be like, we can't do anything about that, sir. And then you say, but he has COVID. And they're like, okay, we'll be on our way.
This man, DJ, said somebody called the constable. Leon Vegas is on the loose. You're stupid, bro.
Yeah. What else?
No, don't ash on my TV. It's my TV. It's my TV. You gave it to me. You can't. I'll light you on fire, bastard. I'll give you a fat fucking kiss. I'll give you a fat fucking suck on the cock, dude. Come closer. This is an X-rated podcast. I'm gonna burn you. I'm gonna burn your pubes. Give me my weed. This man is disrespectful as fuck. Walks into my room, interrupts the podcast. It's fucked up.
And then doesn't even like. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah. Doesn't send Blxcklist and open. What a shithead.
Ask him why he hates me.
What?
Ask him why he hates me. It keeps me.
Yeah, why do you hate Blxcklist? No head. He just said no head and then walked out.
Wait. So he hates me and I don't get head?
He hates you because you gave no head.
Damn. I should have put out. I knew it.
Yeah, you should have. DJ.
This is gonna be a fun podcast to edit.
His last name's Weinstein. You're a dick, Jake.
What were we talking about?
Vincent Gallo's semen. The $1 million cups.
Listen. I'm sure at least one of us has good enough credit to get a loan. Okay, it'll be worth it. We'll have Vincent Gallo.
What if we all co-signed on a loan to get Vincent Gallo's semen?
I'll sign my life and my grandparents' house away.
Go. Alright. I'm gonna have to say the same then. Bye-bye, grandparents' home.
He'd be like,
I can't wait to go see my grandparents, like, hey, Vincent Gallo is taking possession of your household now. You have 30 minutes to pack and leave.
I can like picture, I can visualize like us, well, he says he only buys like females buying it, but we can make a front for that, like just get a random female to pose, but I can totally visualize him, like him
put in the money for Vincent Gallo's.
And he'd be like, I could totally like visualize him on like his computer, like reading the emails, like easily visualize it, like, oh yeah, oh you're, I don't know what he would say, something about her being beautiful or something.
Yeah.
He's like, that's very nice. He always says that, that's very nice.
My girlfriend, 5'5", blonde hair, blue eyes.
He likes women that have are descendant from mid 20th century German soldiers.
Yeah. The most valiant.
The most Aryan.
Literally us.
I'm gonna start calling Nazis that mid 20th century German soldiers.
Yeah.
Just say that to, like, random
Is
people.
that not what you called them in the first place?
I think so. I don't know.
Quote unquote, my dad just tipped me $65 on my OnlyFans on top of my $30 charge for my OnlyFans monthly subscription. And if that's not the realest shit ever, I don't know what is. That is how you support your child's business. Clap emoji, pray emoji, praise the Lord emoji.
I wish my girlfriend's dad would buy my OnlyFans.
Dude, okay.
Just ask, bro.
Since we're talking about, we were talking about Kino's and Vincent Gallo and stuff. So I own the Brown Bunny on DVD. I own it. And you know what it says at the side of the DVD? It says Kino.
Really?
It says Kino. I think he designed the case. So I think he called his own movie a Kino.
That's
and
crazy.
This is before it was cool to call movies Kinos.
Yeah, that's like that's practically 2 decades ahead of its time.
He is ahead of his time. Like, have you watched like the interviews with him? He's talked about like the weird people in like Hollywood and stuff, like the real like scummy people and stuff, and like he predicted a lot of that shit about Hollywood and movie stuff.
Bro, him and Corey Feldman need to team up.
Dude, they should make an album together.
Yeah, they should make an album.
And a movie.
And,
but it probably won't see the light of day because Vincent Gallo likes shelving his projects, so people can't see them. You pretty much have to email him and pay him to like watch his like unreleased movies and stuff. You have to pay him like $10,000 and fly over to his house just to watch his movie.
Bro, I do it.
You know who you need on this podcast?
Who?
Chris Angel.
You need, Chris Angel, bro. You need Joey Calabrese.
I think I know who that is, but probably not.
Yeah, the guy with the Italian older guy. He's like, he's got this animated profile picture for his page. Hold up. I'll have to send it to you.
I was hoping you would have said Joey Salads.
Oh, Joey Salads, nah. He's a bit much, bro.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah, I'd be too scared to be in a room with an alpha male like that.
You know what I should have on here is Ethan Klein.
Oh God.
And so I can just tell him how much of a faggot he is.
Yeah, literally.
Shut up.
Just all like invite him, start it all normal and stuff. And like, you're listening to the Power Campfire Strikes Back. Got special guest, Ethan Klein. So Ethan, can you explain to me how much of a huge faggot you are?
Yeah, what's it like to be a faggot?
And he would try to make some like sarcastic joke, and it wouldn't land at all.
You know, it's great. It's great, man.
Yeah, he would do that to like make it sound like I was joking. So
yeah.
And then Hilo would be there. Like... Hilo would be there, and like, oh, I don't really think that's funny.
Yeah. Oh shit, bro. Man, North Korea is back in action. I'm waiting on them to nuke the coronavirus out of the air.
You know what can destroy the coronavirus? You know what can destroy it? Global warming.
Yeah.
I saw that Kim Jong-un was alive, and I cried tears of happiness.
Yeah, me too. The GOAT. I wasn't ready to part ways with him, to be honest.
Dude, I couldn't.
I got flashbacks of the death scene in the interview, and it was just too emotional.
Dude, first fucking Pete, then X, then Kim Jong-un. I can't.
Yeah, literally, dude.
You know, it'd be cool. If there was a movie. I don't know why this came up. Because we're talking about people dying and stuff, but like, it'd be cool if there was a movie. Did you guys see like that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or whatever?
Yeah.
No, but I've been trying to harass my girlfriend into letting us get it on Redbox.
So I shouldn't spoil it.
Don't do it, bro.
I don't really care. Spoilers don't matter.
You know, Sharon Tate doesn't die in it because it's an alternate universe where she lives or whatever, and Brad Pitt
and then Roman Polanski doesn't fuck kids.
Yeah, and Leonardo DiCaprio kills the killers. They originally killed Sharon Tate. You know, it'd be cool if there was a movie where it was about Kurt Cobain, but they killed Kurt Cobain's killers.
Okay.
An alternate universe where Kurt Cobain murderers get killed.
So either way, Kurt Cobain dies?
No, he lives, but they kill his murderer.
That's crazy shit.
Do you believe in that theory? That he was murdered?
Oh, bro.
Do you believe he was murdered?
No.
I think he killed himself. I think
he committed suicide, bro.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm gonna be real with you.
But he had so much heroin in his system. That's what they say.
What about it?
Because
he was a
people
junkie
with
24/7.
usually have heroin
He
in
was
the
a junkie.
system.
He still played guitar.
I want to kill myself twice as much.
He still played guitar while on heroin.
Shout out heroin.
Come on. You know,
Yeah,
if he can play guitar, like hit guitar notes and stuff perfectly, you can still fucking shoot a gun.
Shout out to Haraway. Someone posted. Someone said I prefer these white rappers over Eminem. Mac Miller, Vinnie Paz, Crime Apple, LP, Echo 2K, Bones, Aesop Rock, Action Bronson, Wiki, Lou the Human, Slow Tie, Lil Ugly Mane, Matt Champion, Hobo Johnson, and last but not least, Rich Brian.
Wait. Where's Young Gravy? Where's Vincent Gallo?
Vincent Gallo was a rapper, you know that? Did you know that? He was actually a rapper. He went by Prince Vince.
The greatest white rapper of our generation.
Prince Vince,
bro.
Oh, we should collab with him. Prince Vince. Rackle Sheev X. Kelato's X. Prince Vince.
Bruh.
I'd pay big money for that. I'd pay more than a Lil B feature for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than 2 pounds.
There's an old clip of him where he's like, my name's Prince Vince. He's like, come on, man, run DMC.
Jesus.
He was the first.
Vincent
Gallo was the first wigger. He was the first wigger.
Yeah. I'm inspired by it. I'm quite inspired. Boys, I need to dip out.
Yeah, I
want to say good night.
I think we've gone on for like a long time, longer than we thought. Oh, this is a great podcast.
I sent a link. I don't know when this is dropping, but if it's 10 years from now, then I'll post it in 10 years.
Okay.
If it's
a secret
tomorrow,
project?
I'll post it tomorrow.
It's a secret project?
I'm gonna completely guess what the URL to the link is and post it tonight.
Okay. You do that.
Okay, I'll wrap this up, I guess.
Yeah.
Good night, you fuck.
Follow me on SoundCloud.
Follow me on SoundCloud.
/Blxcklist music with an X instead of an A, because I'm one of those guys.
SoundCloud.com/notcomatose. SoundCloud.com/KingCobraJFS. That is my SoundCloud.
Be sure to follow my X videos.
yeah. Follow me on Heavy R.
Alright.
Alright, boys.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye.